Hi, everybody. This month in November, we're talking all about creating great sales tools. We really believe that you can convert more prospects into closed deals if you look at your sales process and create great tools for sales. Also, this month on the 26th, we're having a seminar where you're going to hear a lot about that stuff. Today, Rick and I really wanted to talk a little bit about creating a great sales presentation. So a situation that I always see is that the death by presentation situation.
Right.
Everybody sees this. You see this in presentations that people give all the time. But in sales, it really can kill a deal.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the ability, it's almost paralysis by too much information. I mean, trying to cram everything in your business, no matter what scenario, to make sure you overcome any objection that, your client may be, going through. That is a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you go through the steps and qualify your clients first and identify what's those 1 or 2, 3 pieces of information that I can really focus on and hammer home, that's going to be way more effective than trying to overcome any possible thing that could come up within a sales meeting. I mean, you've been in tons of sales meetings, you met with lots of clients, and also our clients that have tons of customers. That's the case.
Yeah, and I've seen these presentations in sales meetings where someone will come in with 50 slides. Each slide has 300 words on it.
Right.
And then my favorite is the flow chart that has 50 different elements. You can't read any of it,
Right.
and you can't understand.
Yeah.
But what you need for a great presentation, I think, is simplicity. I think it's a couple things. One, having the right information for people, the stuff that they really care about, and then simplifying it so that they're paying attention to you. As a salesperson, you shouldn't be necessarily going into a meeting and throwing information up on them, basically.
For sure.
It's going to be this give and take process. And if you're going to actually give a presentation, something where you want to talk about your organization, I think you keep it clean and simple. And even if you search great presentations, you'll see the cool thing is it's a lot of times images and bold text.
Very
and,
minimal.
One little piece of information that people can walk through and really get something great as you're going through, and you're getting a sense as the person's talking.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, really letting the presentation not be the sales tool, but almost supporting the salesperson or the person that's in there. It's not about putting all that information in and then relying on this presentation to close the sale. You're the salesperson. You're the one that's in there meeting with the client. Let that presentation support what you're there to do, not be the, holy grail of what you're trying to accomplish there. Have it support you, have good informational facts, be very visually appealing, but it doesn't have to be the thing that determines whether a deal is going to be closed or not.
Yeah.
Let it be the supporting factor that it's supposed to be.
No, I agree. And if you're going to do a sales presentation on your own, you're not going to outsource it, to a marketing firm or something like that. I think some things that you can do are really walk through it and make sure that each slide that you have is completely necessary.
Right.
And then I would take each one and filter it down to the very minimal amount of information that you really want them to be impacted with, so that if during that specific slide you're getting across 5 points
Right.
About your software, about your service, break it down to the 3 words that matter the most. Put those 3 words on there and then have some awesome image with it.
Yes.
So there's some ways that you can take that, it's not about having 5 bullet points if you have 5 messages to tell. It's about using the 3 words that summarize that and then putting it with a powerful image. So they look at it, and while you're talking about those 5 features, let's say,
Right.
those 3 words are just hammering in their head.
Yep.
So I think that's one technique that you can do is go through each slide and think about simplifying it to the 1, 2, maybe 5 words that you want someone to get out of that one slide, and then use that time while it's up there to talk about it so it's being hammered in almost, through it. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think ultimately what it comes down to, and it comes down to simplicity, really understanding what you're trying to do when you're going into these meetings and putting together a presentation that can support exactly what you're trying to get out of it. Like you just said, you can go in there with the 300 words on a slide, and while you're talking, giving your presentation, their focus and attention isn't on you. You bring a presentation, obviously that's going to be a focal point, so that's what they're going to focus on. They're not going to focus on you. So if you have those 3 very powerful keywords, you're focusing on one benefit, they see that information, that's all they're focusing on, and then what you're talking about is just reinforcing that message.
Yeah.
So I think really when it all comes down to it, it all comes down to simplicity, being very focused in your presentation and not trying to give too much information.
Yeah.
I think that'll hurt the deal more
And
than
brand.
help it.
I mean, it's got to look great. At the end of the day, they're using that to represent your business. They're seeing that, and that's how they see your business. So I really think, good coloring, good crisp images.
Yep.
Don't go grab something off Google that looks pixelated. You really have to do it right because it truly is a representation of your company and brand.
sure.
And if your presentation is confusing, if your graphics are cheap and don't look good,
Right.
and you've got too much text, that's how they're going to represent what their experience with you is going to be. It's
Right.
going to be confusing. It's not going to be high quality. All these
Exactly.
different things. And you can imagine that quickly, just showing a presentation,
Right.
even if you do the best job in the world as a person, you lost the deal because you gave this bad impression.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit about doing great presentations. If you want to learn more, obviously, come check out our seminar on November 26th. And then, obviously, you can give Insivia a call, and we've got a lot of great tips on how to create awesome presentations that will close deals. Thanks a lot, and we hope we see you soon.
Take it easy.